Hello and welcome to the seventh session of TPT back after a break. And we're very excited to be here and to pick things up after a month's holiday. Although it has been a holiday from TTT, thinking has been busy. We have, in fact, hired a new trainer, wonderful person, Surya, to our small community. And I'm just going to start off by allowing her to introduce herself, and then we'll get into the entire process. So Surya, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I'm Surya Kala. I'm a CELTA certified language trainer. In fact, I did it in British Council, Chennai, the same year Ambika did it, 2019. And prior to that, I started my actual teaching journey around probably 2010 in China. So I've taught with 2 international schools and I've taught private students as well. And Corona brought me to India in 2020 January, and I've been here since. And recently joined the thinking community. And I'm excited to be here. Yeah, it's been great so far.
Yeah, and what Surya's not telling you guys is because she's far too modest. She's a CELTA Pass A. So we're very, very proud to have her with us. So we show her off a lot like this when we meet new communities. Yeah. So yes, it's been wonderful to have Surya on board with us. She's got a lot of experience. She brings a lot to the table, not just, teaching wise, but she's such a wonderful support in anything that we've, started doing in the past month. So welcome on board to TTT officially, Surya. So let's jump into what we have planned for today, which is going to be a short session where I'm sure you've received the questions that are up and mailed to you guys. So we'll be discussing 3 questions. I will repeat them now for the benefit of anybody who doesn't know. The first one, what kind of activities do you use for grammar emphasis other than worksheets or the conventional methodologies? Second one, are brain breaks necessary in an adult ESL classroom? If so, what activities have you tried? And the third one, how important are home assignments? What type of home assignments can be engaging for adult learners specifically? So these are the 3 questions which are the topic of discussion today. And that's about it. I'm opening the floor for discussion. Would anybody like to give one of your thoughts? Would like to share your thoughts on any of these questions? I'll start with the number 1. What kind of activities do you use for grammar emphasis other than worksheets or the conventional methodologies?
Can I go?
Yes, please.
So one of the things that we practice at Sukha is we take screenshots of text messages that the students have sent.
Little louder. Yeah, I still can. One second, let me get
Maybe you should use a headphones.
I'll try using mine. Maybe I can't.
I don't know. Now?
I can hear you. It's good. Yeah.
So one of the things that we do at the organization is take screenshots of the text messages that have been sent by the students to us, obviously anonymously. And then we share it with the class and we try and figure out, are there any prepositions missing? Have pronouns been switched? So that they understand. Because, a lot of times when they send us text messages, they miss out on a few words. So we find that that's the most relatable to them. So that's one of the things that we do other than worksheets.
That's a great idea. It's
Nice.
Very interesting.
Very nice.
And but I think it's important that to keep it anonymous is something that should be practiced so that nobody feels put on the spot. Yeah, exactly.
In fact, I think we can also kind of add on that particular language point or that lesson and add our own versions of, error correction statements with the messages as well. So you're making sure, suppose it's tenses and past tense, so something related to that, you can add 2-3 sentences, which is commonly an error sentence.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Okay, anybody else? Anybody from thinking has any ideas? Yeah. Yeah,
so the kind of we do the usual kind of activities which is in our guided discovery format and all of that we do, but in terms of error correction, like how Kavya said, I also do sometimes an error correction mostly in one-to-one classes and for my Ielts writing task. So I create errors, grammatical errors. For instance, I do a lesson on preposition for writing task essay. So I change or I make it, into a wrong preposition in the essay, and I ask them to correct it. So one, they have the sample of the essay. At the same time, it's a very common error, this in, on, to, for. So they are even facilitated to correct that. So that is one of the things which I've tried and which have worked also quite well for Ielts, mainly because it's very goal oriented, no? So in that sense, it worked for me. So I haven't really tried it in a general English class.
Yeah, in a general English class, like if it's I do the elementary level. So I just give them a small story with if it is a narrative, the past tense. Instead of go, I would just say, I will just change them and the words will be changed, like what Ambika said in the writing. There will be errors in the story. So they look at the story and they read it first, and then they feel it is okay. And I say, are you sure it is okay? Then they say, no, something wrong here. So then they come up with the correct tense. So if it is go, it is went, not gone or good. I was one student who said good. So I said, it's not good because it had ed.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, thank you. Hi, Vinodini. Welcome to TTT. We've started the discussion. We're discussing currently the first question. What kind of activities do you use for grammar emphasis other than worksheets or the conventional methodologies? If you have any ideas, please do feel free to pitch in.
I will, and I will soon start with the discussion.
Sure.
Because my signal is quite weak, and that's why I couldn't turn on my video.
Sure, no
sure,
problem.
we know.
Okay, anybody else?
Okay, I usually start the class with some discussion. Okay, so some questions are given. Most of our texts have the same method. So I usually have questions there, but my questions always would target the target language. Okay, so whatever it is now, like what Aparna said, if I'm going to teach them past tense, so the questions will target at the target language, so that the candidates, the students will have some opportunity to use the language. But when they are depending on their level, they'll definitely have a lot of chances either to use or not use.
Yes.
If they are at the pre-ent or the ent level, even if they have to talk about the past, they'll still tell it in the present. So those are opportunities for you to use those emergent language. And I feel that's a lot better when I teach one-to-one classes, because I'm taking their language and I'm teaching them. So that actually helps them to relate to what they have used and how they can use it better. I'm sure the others will have a lot of other things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So sort of going, adding on to what Mary said, I also think that, worksheets are it's controlled practice, right? So there are very few specific answers that you have. And usually most people are better in the written format than while speaking. So I find it that if you give them a speaking activity based on the target language, there are so many more errors that are produced and so many that you can catch, and some things that are really basic that they make. Like, so for example, go, went is something I feel like every one of my students has made this error where they don't realize that they don't say went. They say gone. Most of the time it's gone. And then, you have to raise awareness over there. So I think speaking grammar activities like asking questions or playing a game that targets that language would actually produce more errors and in turn would help them learn better.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sorry, can I just add to what
Yes.
Nikita said? I think the game or speaking activity that works is either doing something like a role play or an information gap. So it's still kind of control practice, but then they're speaking and it's a little bit more natural. And like you said, there's more likelihood of errors coming out that you can address and clarify if needed.
Absolutely, yes. Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay. So anything else to add? All right, let's move on to question 2 then. Are brain breaks necessary in an adult ESL classroom? If so, what activities have you tried? I can see by everybody's smile that there's a unanimous agreement to this question. So who would like to begin? Actually, I can, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I recently started taking a corporate class, and for corporate students, they are already have so much on their plate with their 9 to 5 jobs and their client calls and their customer complaints, and they have so much to deal with. And one of my classes is on a Friday. So when they log in on a Friday morning at 9 a.m., they're like so done with life. And they're like, I have no interest to learn at this moment. After you finish my class, I still have to work for the next 7 hours. That's their attitude. So I think in those, for adult learners, it is very important, because this is not their main, focus or job or anything. They are doing so many other things than just this. So brain break is absolutely important. And one of the activities that I've tried is very, very simple. I'm sure you've all tried it in your class. But one particular Friday morning, I played Simon Says with them, so that they would get some energy into their system. So, but for them, it was a very new game. None of them even knew what it was. So it was fun. I gave them the rules, and then we did a rapid fire round of Simon Says, and they got so into it, so competitive, and they all wanted to win. And I think after that, the energy for the rest of the class was really great. Like, I honestly noticed such a big improvement, even from the other classes. So I think that's something that if you haven't tried, you definitely should.
Nice.
I haven't done brain break in online classes, because I've only had one-to-one classes. But I remember, people who have been with me in British Council, Seetha maybe will know what we used to do for the executives. 7:30, 9:30 late night class. Oh my God, we all come dead beat into the class, and we really don't know what to do with them. But we need to have them there. It's not just the brain break. You start the class with a full bang. So I remember once what I did was having a run, hiding words. Whatever they learned the previous day, we'd make it into strips and stick it under the chair, on the table, on the wall, or the door bar and all that. And they come and they totally relax from their chairs and sit. And then I say, okay, you're going to play a game now. In about 10 minutes, you have 20 words in this class, and I want you to go pick it up. And you have only 3 minutes to come back to your table. You will not believe the energy they have to climb over chairs and tables. They'll jump, pick up everything and come. And they think picking up is the only thing, and that's done. Once they come to the group, I'll tell them, now is your work. Whatever words you've got, you have to give the meaning of the word to the other group, and the other group has to guess the word. So that is, they don't have to give the word, but the other person has to concentrate and listen and get the word. And it's all a revision of the vocabulary they've done the previous class. So that was fun to see. I'm actually missing all those classes. Face-to-face classes especially. Really missing them.
Face-to-face classes are fun.
Yeah, we just started one.
Yeah.
Yeah, brain breaks are very important,
I know.
both in adult and young learner classes. And of course, both Seetha and Aparna are the ones from whom I have learned so much. I think when I started at BC, Seetha was there and she did an inset. That's when I learned about the stirrers and settlers.
Yeah.
And that's something that has stayed with me.
True.
Even now, even if it is an adult class, even if it is a one-to-one class, I still do that. And I feel that it really helps. So I'll tell you about an experience. I have a student now. I think she must be about 65. Okay, but she has joined the spoken English class just to make sure that she has some time talking with someone, not that she wants to learn. Okay, but there are times when she feels sleepy. So she had already told me about this, that she might doze because she's taking medicines for depression. So she might doze off. But I'll tell you, for whatever I was told in the beginning, she's a lot better. She pays a lot of good attention. But then what I do is I give her some task where she can get up, go, and then come back. Okay. That actually helps because there's no other opportunity. I cannot ask her to talk to someone else or something like that. Another reason why she's joined the class is she wants to learn how to text proper messages. That social circle and how so once in a while when her phone beeps, that's her distraction. So she reads the message and then I don't tell her what to type. So she types the message and then she checks with me. So I feel that some kind of deviation, just going away from the lesson and then coming back actually helps a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, with young learners, we have a lot of other things that we do. But with adults, based on how they are, both physically and mentally, you might have to think of some brain breaks.
No, that is a problem with me. I have a learner. I mean, Surya must be knowing, Nikita also, Divya. She can't move around because she is a differently challenged girl. But she is very smart. She's able to talk. She does all that. So get her to deviate. The only way is I sort of ask different questions about her routine or something which is out of the lesson and then come back to it. So she is excited about coming to Chennai, going to the beach. So I tell her to talk about that day or that weekend and then get back into the class. So that helps her a bit. Otherwise, it gets a little boring for her sometimes.
I was just going to say that brain breaks are obviously important for all students, but also important for the teachers sometimes.
I was going to ask that.
Very true.
You need your own brain break. So online, obviously, if a person physically can't move, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But if it's around their table, a little treasure hunt is a nice, quick, or a scavenger hunt is a quick way to get them to have that change of mindset and gives you a few seconds to just before you have to continue. Just go find 3 things in your house that's whatever. That's a nice brain break.
I mean, normally you do that with small children. I've not done it with adults.
No, it works brilliantly with adults. You should see them compete. I got here first. I found 3 things. I don't think there's any difference, to be honest.
I've been doing only one-on-one, so I have nobody else to compete.
You should compete with them. I'll go get stuff. You go get stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's interesting.
That's nice. Must try it out.
I mean, recently another game, again, the same kind of corporate setup. So we've been doing quite a lot of group classes. So in that one of them, another thing that I found was quite interesting was this chain memory game. So I don't give them like any particular this thing. I just give them randomly verbs. You're free to take even like your basic talk, walk is also fine. So I started off. So the next person says my word and his word. And then it goes on. So what I do is, the only thing I do is I make a list of the order. So that's all I need to do. So I keep calling out the names and then they have to say the whole thing. And by the end of it, like so many people would be out and they would be laughing and like, no, got it. So in fact, today in class, I did that in the morning because my current class is a 2-hour class. And that's quite strenuous for anybody to like actually, pay full attention. So after a break, so I anyway do a 5-minute break. So when they come back, they're all like distracted in different places. Some of them would be like, oh, give me coffee and, maybe munching on their breakfast and all that. So this kind of pulls them all back to the class. So they're kind of paying attention to the others who are listening. At the same time, it's just fun. So one day I just do verbs. The other day I just do colors. So it'll be very simple. Although it's adults, it is still fun and they don't have to think too much for the same thing. So I found this actually working well for me in the class, in the group class. So this was about 14 people. So definitely imagine 2 rounds. It's like some 28 words. So it's not very easy to remember all that also. Yeah. So that I found quite interesting.
So I want to share something. This is Nikita's class, actually, the business English class that I had for Nikita's batch. And there is a student called Surendran. Okay, he is at a managerial level, so he has a serious air about him, very serious all the time. So I think it wasn't a brain break, but I said, Surendra, you have only one task before the end of the lesson, that you have to give us one smile. And I think that was like a little, a little lighter note for the whole class. At the end of the lesson, they were like, okay, and they were like looking at Surendra to make sure he was smiling. And there was an exit ticket as well. So they had to kind of, so I didn't have an ICQ for the, understanding of the instructions for the assignment. Instead of that, was the exit ticket. So how many words do you have to use? And then the person who said it correctly would leave. So for example, if Seetha would say it, they could leave. And the exit ticket for Seetharam was, I didn't tell him the exit ticket, but the other 4 were there. And I told Seetharam, your exit ticket, you have to do one thing. And then the others were like, he has to smile, they were all adult class, a corporate class. So that's why I said, Nikita, I had so much fun in your lesson. It's a simple thing, but it was like throughout the lesson, they were attentive. And they were like, so it was really nice. And scavenger hunt, again, that works like, it works so well. And I think there's no particular timing. It's just when you feel the energy of the class going down and you say, okay, go grab something that starts with A, three things that start with A. And if you want to bring a vocabulary into it, it could be like, for example, bring one thing that's a stationary, bring two things that is, can be used in the kitchen. So it's kind of like targeted vocabulary words. I guess you can kind of play around with it, whatever way you wish. And the word game, Aparna, that you said could also be tried online classes, like where you kind of one person gets a word, like I send a word to the person and they give clue to the rest of the class and they have to guess it. So I send a word to Kavya, but nobody else knows it, just me and Kavya, and she would give clues to us, to the others to guess it. It could be like a revision.
Try it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can try it online.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, since you said Kavya, something like popped in my head. I'd like to bring back one of the activities that Kavya told us about in her session, where where you do a conversation from A to Z. So every person starts with the next letter of the alphabet. So I say like, it's so hot today. And then Ambika has to say something from D, Abhishek from C, and so on. I think that for adult learners would be a lot of fun.
Very useful, yes.
Yeah, and if you tell them that it's okay if you use a little bit of Tamil, that's all. They're like so excited. I'm in for this game. So I think that could be a really good brain break. In fact, I'm going to try it in my next class. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Now, Nikita, so I'm going to try it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so anything else to add to this question? Anybody?
Just glad I attended the session because I completely forgot about the concept of brain breaks. And I used to do a lot of them in my offline. I completely forgot about it. So thank you so much for it.
Awesome.
Can
I also share my thoughts?
Sure, Jayashree.
So when I take classes for teenagers are like usually very hyper and they get like distracted very easily. So what I do is that I make sure that I ask them to tell stories. So I will use a brain breaker like this. I'll just tell them, okay, so can you just build a story? I'll just tell the starting line. There's like, it was a dark evening and someone heard the sound of a thunder. So can you just continue? So they will just tell all the creepy stories and it'll be really nice to listen. How they use their creativity, it's like really nice. And sometimes what do I do is to make sure that, they are fine. I just ask them, so what are the emotions you're going through today? So they will be like, what, I'm so frustrated with my father. He just said this. So, and then they'll be like sharing their emotions. And that's nice, as a teacher to just listen to them. And then that's like kind of brain break. And then we get to the normal session. So it's like quite refreshing, I would say.
Nice.
Very nice. I'm sure you're their favorite teacher because you let them talk about their problems.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, Abhishek.
Yes, Abhishek.
So, with my students, the one with thinking, with that guy, usually he joins class, he comes straight up from work and he just starts sitting for the class. So I usually start by, giving him like 5 to 10 minutes. I just let him calm down from coming back from work. I just talk to him, have a conversation with him, like adult to adult kind of conversation, because I guess he has a kid and another one on the way. So he's always constantly busy all the time. So I just have a conversation with him. And besides it, I just started at a high school last week. So the first thing I do is my students are very, very curious about who I am right now. I've not revealed to them anything about me. So they just start throwing questions at me. I just let them at it for the first 2-3 minutes to let them settle down before the class. And besides that, one other thing I do is in terms of I try to make the homework a bit more about a more break kind of thing and more a fun kind of activity for them. I'm making it like personalized homeworks for every single individual. Like say right now we're covering a chapter on reviews and all those things right now. So I go around to each student, ask them what they like and make like customized homework for every one of them and that kind of thing.
So I think that kind of leads us into our third question about home assignments. So I'm going to repeat the question. How important are home assignments? And what type of home assignments can be engaging for adult learners?
Yeah, I think home assignments are very important for adult learners or even children. Adult learners especially, because they have so many other things in their life that they just sidetrack whatever they're doing. Once when the class is over, they do, okay, I'll do the homework tomorrow. Just before class, they'll be doing the homework. But instead of that, yeah, the best thing is to give them something which they can actually engage through their work, day's activities. Like, for example, I did one with my student Aruna. I was teaching her the planning, going to and plan a trip. So I told her, you talk to your sister, plan a trip, both of you together, and I want you to record your conversation and send it to me. That is your homework. She was super excited. So I thought she's just going to, let's see how she's doing it. By the end of the day, I already got it on my phone, on WhatsApp. And I played it, and she's been practicing a lot of conversation through other links which she's been listening to. She's got an accent, and she's done that with her sister also. And so beautifully, they both have planned a trip to visit temples in South India. And all the language that she did in class, she's used there. The vocabulary also. So that was really good to see them using it in the real life situation. At the same time, not feeling the stress of doing a homework or assignment. It was very interesting to listen to them do it. So that is one thing which I did with one of the students.
Very nice. It sounds like a lovely homework. I would love to do some homework like that too. Okay, anybody else?
Maybe something where similar to maybe what Aparna was saying, but they have to do a survey or something like that of people who they know. It could be family, friends. It doesn't have to be a very extensive survey, but 1 or 2 questions. So they practice their English and then they put that together either as a post or a report, or they come and present their results in class. So it gives them a chance to use that language in different ways. And it's something interesting.
In fact, I think recently we, again, I'm going to just quote my corporate class. So the same thing, we've done a lesson on emails, like the phrases that they use in emails, like, so it's a pre-intermediate level. So they do need to be given like certain sample phrases or, sample emails from which they can then develop their own emails. So what I told them is I've given them a week's journaling task. So whatever the phrases they're using from the lesson, just put it down as to just in the end of the day, go through your mail, just pick 3 phrases that you used today from the lesson. So I've given them like an Excel sheet with the calendar, which says like Thursday to Thursday. So every day, so one column says the phrases I use, the other says the phrases I don't know how to use, and any other doubts that they have. So I would meet them only the next Friday. So it's in fact for you, Nikita, your class that I did. So I will meet them only the next Friday. So by then they would have 1 week of practice, but that too on a very task-based thing. And they would have also picked out whatever doubts they have. So which means at the end of the week, you do have like things that you're really sure of, things you really don't know how to use. So as a trainer, it's easier for us to understand where to help them as well. So I thought, that you can basically adapt it to different kind of written format. I'm not sure. I've not still tried it in, the speaking format yet. In the written, it's easy for them to copy paste. So it's just and all of them are working. You can't expect them to spend a lot of time either. So this is something that I've tried new. So yeah, waiting to see how the results turn out also now.
Maybe.
Yeah, Kavya.
Yeah, just to add on to what Ambika said. So personally, I do believe that homework is important because our classes are also only twice a week, so it's important to touch base. But the one thing that we're conscious in using the tools that already exist on the phone, or the voice note. So we ask them to call another student, we pair them up with another student, ask them to record a or they play Wordle, and through the week they play this one advanced class, and all the words that they learned in Wordle they used to make a story out of it. You know,
Wow.
so all these apps that are easily available. So even initially I used to give homework, written homework, but then Google Forms became a lot easier where they just need to like pick. They're also just want to get done with it. And so features that are already available on the phone is what we try and push for.
Very interesting. Okay. Anybody else?
I unfortunately jumped the gun about the discussion of homeworks.
Yeah.
You let
and also one thing for which I had actual contribution.
So my assignment for my group has been, of course, this is the higher level group. So I wanted them to obviously implement it immediately at their workplace. So so this is reporting meetings. They do have a little exercise that they have to do prior to the actual main assignment. So they were fretting, you were giving us 2 assignments, but I told them you'll get 2 weeks for the second one. So the second assignment is basically they need to get on a meeting, on a Zoom call like this. They have to record the meeting. So obviously they're using language. And after which they watch the recording, then use the reporting language for reporting the minutes of the meeting, and then do it. So I guess that experience will just probably they can immediately use it at work from the very next day. So I think that was good. So I think homework, especially for adult classes, if it is corporate, like to be specific, I think also this came from a bit of what Ambika had mentioned, and immediately that made sense to me when she said this should be something that they could use immediately. So that's where this idea of the homework came to me. But obviously for elementary classes, they have to be a little bit different. And yeah, I'm picking a lot of ideas from Kavya today. Relevant games. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for that. Yeah.
It's good when TTT is doing its job. Yeah. You are getting some ideas.
Surya, you should definitely watch Kavya's that sessions video. There's like a huge Pandora of ideas that just open up for you.
An idea. If you're doing those memory activities kind of things, you could also try another improv game, which is SNTs. So basically, you're allowed to say any word that is associated to anything, but like people keep building words, and your word has to be associated with the word with the person's word before you. But you cannot use any words that begin with S or T's.
Okay.
So that makes it more challenging, and because the first time a lot of things for us, the first thought is on S and T's.
Right.
Is it? Okay. That I
no, it is. I've played this game before. It's actually really difficult. You don't realize how many S especially.
Wow.
How many words you use.
That's very interesting.
You get all of 5 seconds. That's an improv. That's like an improv warm-up game.
Okay.
It's interesting.
So you're saying like for build the story or memory, both you can use.
Yeah, instead of a memory board and all those things, it's more like a quick reaction kind of thing, like A, B. Instead of like A, B, C, you're going more like word. It has to be associated. Say I say sky, then goes clouds. After clouds, rain.
You can't say
water, like that. It keeps building like that up.
Yeah. Okay.
And it can be some random associations. From water, you can go to like hydrophobia or something random in another direction.
Okay, this is nice.
I think that can
this is
be
nice. Brain
the bank of words move into a bigger, productive activity where they write something with that theme, with those words or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Super.
Awesome.
Any other wonderful ideas coming by?
I think something in the lines of this people are always on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and all of that. So I think something for teenage and younger adults would be like creating a post, if it's based on the lesson, and then creating a post for that. That could be a video or a written kind of a thing using the target language that was in the lesson. So it's not just a fill in the blank worksheet sort of a thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good
Interesting,
idea.
I know.
Yeah, they have to create
the present situation. People are more associated with social media than with writing letters or emails.
Edmodo is a nice platform for that. Although we had our own troubles with it. It is a nice platform for them to post or put a recording in or post an image and then everyone comments.
We started now using Edmodo.
Yeah.
Ambika, I just realized there's a word game on Edmodo itself. Before I could assign it to the class, I just wanted to consult with you before we do that. But there's a word game similar to what Kavya said. That they can they do 5 words and then
let's do it.
They can actually compete against each other. I think I'm not very sure on that, so we need to play around with that.
We first play it internally and then
I know.
Because if they ask us doubts, you need to be really sure as to how to clarify.
No, it's random. Like like just words come up and then it's like 5 words and then you do it and then
you guys should generally also check out different improv warm-up games because those in general can also be used for language improvement. Like question is another one where you have to respond to everyone with just questions.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to say anything besides questions. It has to be question followed by a question followed by a question, but the questions have to be kind of related, but you can't just end a question like what, why. Those things are not allowed.
Right. Nice.
Cool. This is nice. Awesome.
Okay, so if nobody has anything else to add, I think that's the end of the Q&A session. So thank you guys for some wonderful ideas. I can't wait to try them on my in my next classes, and I'm sure everybody who got some ideas here would agree to that. Now I'm just going to pass over the fictional mic to Seetha. She does not need any introduction, so off you go, Seetha. Here.
Okay, thank you very much. So apparently I'm here as quiz master today. I'm going to try and do the best that I possibly can. I don't think we can do teams, am I right? It's a little difficult to do teams, so we'll just do individuals. Do you want buzzers or like a symbol to answer, or do you want me to just call out names? I'm going to give you the choice.
Actually, buzzers would be fine.
Yeah, buzzers would be fun, but it's a lot of work on you to identify who.
Yeah, you got to be able to figure out who's making the.
No, so instead of sounds, I thought why not emojis or reactions?
Yeah,
would that work?
Reactions are better.
Yeah, so everyone pick a reaction and then just put that on the screen. And I'm just gonna say, okay, you can't have the same reaction.
Okay.
So Abhishek has taken the hands up one.
Okay, then I have to pick.
He was the quickest with that one. Okay, Aparna's got the face. Surya's got the
surprise
heart.
Expression.
Nikita's got the sunglasses.
There are only 5 reactions, right, on this?
Yeah.
No, if you press the 3 dots, you get
too many.
Dot. It continues.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's why I took this.
There's also, okay, Mary's got celebration.
Okay.
And Kavya's got googly eyes.
Peeping eyes. Oh, googly eyes, sorry.
And Vinodini and Jay?
Yeah, I'm sending.
Okay. Oh, you've sent it in the chat box. If you just click on the reactions button at the bottom.
Okay.
Because chat might take you a little while. Everyone will beat you to it. And Jay is Jayashri, is that right?
Yeah,
Jayashri's got someone else has
Somebody
sunglasses.
else.
Nikita's sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
Sorry, Jayashri, you have to pick another
Wouldn't it be so much simpler if we just kept raised hands, the fastest finger gets it?
Jayashri's got a cat.
Yeah, it might be quicker, but then everyone will fight with me about who raised their hands first. Remember, adults are as competitive as children. Okay.
Especially if you know the answer.
Yes.
Ambika can't play though, so we all decided.
Also, Ambika is pre-disqualified because she was one of the quiz masters. So Ambika is pre-disqualified.
Yes, I'm not playing.
She's not playing. She's just gonna help me. Ambika, you can help me see who went.
Yes.
Yeah, in case I miss it. Okay. we've got a range of random questions. Some are English related, some are teaching related, some are just random. Okay.
Jittery.
That's the point. I'm going to build it up a little bit. Okay. So the first question is, what is the name of the term for opposite words?
Nikita.
Okay, Nikita.
Antonyms.
Very good. Okay. Ambika, will you keep points?
I will, yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Just a second. I just quickly put down the names before that.
Okay.
Abhishek, Aparna, Surya, Kavya, Jay. Yes, please go on.
Okay. Next question. Which is correct? I would have finished it by then. I will have finished it by then. Okay, Kavya.
I would have finished it by then.
Oh no!
The correct answer is I will have finished it by then.
I'm questioning my career at the end of this.
It just makes us want to learn more. Okay.
Oh God.
The next question. I was pulling your leg is an example of I was pulling your leg.
Surya.
Oh, Surya.
Okay, is it an idiom?
Yes, very good. Okay, points to Surya then. Engine, tire, steering wheel, boot, all fall under what term? Say that again. Oh, Surya's got the answer.
Lexical set.
Wow.
Well done. Okay, next question. What's one similarity between adult learners and young learners?
Wait, but is this like a opinion-based question, or is there a right and wrong answer?
No, there are a few right answers. It's an opinion-based question, but I have to accept that the answer is valid.
Okay.
So who Surya
did and Kavya did as well. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll give Surya a chance.
No, me? All right. They're all language learners at different proficiency levels and probably have different learning styles.
Okay, but I wanted one similarity between them.
Oh, one similarity between them.
So I'm going to pass on to Kavya now.
Kavya was next. Yeah.
What we thought is that both adults and children love structure. I don't know whether that falls under this.
Yes, I think that's an acceptable response. Yes, they do
Yay,
both love
Kavya. Save your face for the next one. Yeah.
Wait,
Next
can I ask, sorry to interrupt, what were some of the acceptable answers that you were thinking of?
Okay, I've got they love games.
Yeah,
I
wanted to tell that.
They need incentives.
Yeah.
I think things that we often don't think of for adults. And we think of for children. It's quite similar, especially if they're working and they're busy and they get tired. As you can see in this quiz now. Okay. Next question. What do students do when they skim read?
Abhishek.
Okay, Abhishek.
They just quickly run through the passage to come to the conclusion, build a basic outline of the sketch.
Good. Okay, that's fine. Basic outline is what I was going for. Okay, next question. What's the new Ielts exam structure for the pen and paper exam?
I know this, but I can't remember it right now.
Writing comes first. Writing comes first.
Okay.
Reading, then listening.
Very good. Well done.
Superb.
I think that was a good decision also.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
because you know, when they do the listening and the reading and then go to the writing, kind of the brain is all drained.
Yes, yes.
I was
That's
so
one
happy
common
about
complaint that most of my students came back and told me.
I agree with that. I've also done it and I hated it.
Yeah.
The worst.
Most of my students.
I'll agree. I got a bad score on writing, so yeah.
Shall we blame it on that? I think that's what we should blame it on.
Yeah, no. Also because I went to the exam and I got confused between at most and at least.
I think that's just on you. Nobody else can take the blame for that.
That's on you.
Okay, but that was that was 11 years ago.
Okay.
That's quite a while. I'm sure you won't make that mistake again. Okay.
Next.
Next question. What do you call a verb that acts like a noun?
Nikita, same Nikita. Okay, we give it
Nikita.
Actually, I don't know. Now I'm doubting myself.
Say what you thought.
Is it a gerund?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, next question. What does EFL stand for?
Surya.
Foreign language.
As a foreign language.
Okay, good. Good, we're going really well. Next question. What's one difference between general English students and Ielts students? Surya's again.
Surya's again.
Quick finger. Okay.
I think she's just keeping her hand on the
Ask
reaction.
his finger first.
You have to also learn test-taking strategies beyond just learning general English. Yes, that's what I think is the main difference. Yeah.
Good. Yes, that's fine. If Nikita wants to know, some of the other things I had were IELTS students tend to be more motivated because they have a specific goal, and age groups tend to vary as well. Not always, but there's a tendency for age groups. There are more answers. I just put down a couple.
They are so motivated that they push the teacher also.
Yes.
Better in class.
Oh yeah.
Or into insanity.
In general, wouldn't our IELTS students normally have more proficiency in their language than general English?
Sometimes it depends what level they come.
Depending on the level.
In general, like people going for their IELTS usually have a fair bit of proficiency before they can take up. They need to have a fair bit of proficiency before they can take up an IELTS.
They have to, but some of them don't. So we have to give them a general English course first, and then ask them to do the IELTS.
Yeah, that's what. So general English is the pathway to IELTS.
In a way, I suppose that's true. They have to have some general English to get there.
I'm just going to rephrase what Abhishek said. I think that IELTS students require more accuracy than general English students while taking up their exams.
That's correct. Agreed. Okay. Next question. Name 3 useful tools for an online classroom. Surya's first again.
Surya's hand is on the reaction.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah. You mean like, can you be more specific with the question, please?
I feel like she's thinking now. After
I think we need someone else. Kavya's next.
No. I had my hand up at the same time.
Yes, Abhishek did.
Okay.
Sorry, Kavya.
So 3 tools, right? 3 tools that are useful. It could be just the one that we're on right now. Zoom is a tool that we're using. PowerPoint. And sharing files, as simple as that, I would say. 3 simple tools for.
Shall we accept sharing?
No.
Okay, if Kavya gets all 3, then Abhishek doesn't get points for that one, or you can have some.
I think I understood the question differently, but I'll tell you.
Go on, tell us what you have.
Who's my confusion? I mean,
tools in the sense that the lesson plan, CFU, and exit slips.
I meant online tools specifically.
Maybe we should just
online tools.
Yes, Abhishek gets half of whatever points you're giving.
Yeah.
You didn't give us 3 full ideas.
What are the 3 tools?
I would say, can I change the third option to online worksheets?
No.
No, that's as good as sharing a file, isn't it?
Seetha, is it whiteboard?
Yeah, I had things like Zoom, whiteboard, Canva,
Google
Kahoot, whatever. Annotate.
Internet,
Moodle,
things like that.
You should have gone for Zoom features, raising hands.
There you go. Any of those tools. Okay. Sorry, let me just check how many I've done. I've done them in mixed order and now I'm confused.
So as of now, let me give you the score. So
you
know,
absolutely.
Yeah, and Nikita is second. Abhishek is on third, and I feel so sad. Maybe Vinu and Jay haven't even got a chance to answer yet.
Maybe we should ask them targeted questions.
Yeah.
See if they... Okay. Okay, I've got 4 or 5 more questions to go. All right, next question. What is a schwa? Nikita.
Yes. It's a weak sound.
Nikita's got reactions, hands, everything.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Didn't want to make sure you didn't miss it. It's a weak sound.
Very good. And can you tell me what it looks like?
That's not part of the question, right?
No, it's not part of the question.
Okay, something like this, like an inverted E or something.
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
Okay, well done. Next question. What is communicative teaching? Kavya's frantically looking for a reaction. Kavya, I'm going to give it to you.
No, I didn't hear it properly.
Okay. What is communicative teaching?
There comes
Surya?
Surya?
I might not be completely correct, but I think communicative teaching is teaching that can be used in real life.
Can you say a little bit more about what that means?
For example, we talk about language used at a restaurant. Then the student would go then to the restaurant and use that target language at a restaurant.
Accepted. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Expected answer? Like what was it exactly?
That's kind of what I had. Focusing on real life communication, making tasks
task-based learning.
Yeah.
Task-related learning.
And teaching students language that they can use directly in their
day-to-day life.
Life, yeah.
Pretty much the same thing. Okay. I think I have 2 questions left. So get your fingers ready. Next question is, this is a 3-part question or 3 bits. How many syllables in the following words? Documentary, potato, chair.
Mary.
Okay, Kavya. Oh, no, Mary.
Mary.
Sorry, Kavya. I saw it on the.
Okay, documentary.
Okay.
Okay, potato.
Okay.
What was the third word? Sorry.
Chair.
One sound.
Very good. Perfect. Okay, for a bonus point, can any of these words have any other numbers of syllables?
Maybe documentary.
Okay, how many, Aparna?
Documentary. 5.
Very good. Okay, Aparna gets a bonus half of whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, and I think it's the. Oh, I've got 2 questions. Name 2 teaching resource websites.
Nikita.
Lingua House and ESL Brains.
I should have banned Lingua House actually. I put it there, but I should have banned it.
Teach this.
No, you're fine. You got it. Okay. Last question before the rapid fire. Okay. An example of a simile.
Surya.
Was that?
No, I pressed it. My reaction was there, but I did press it again. I swear.
Okay.
You smell like a rose.
Okay, fine. We can accept that. Very nice. All right.
Okay, there's a tie between Nikita and Surya now. Huh?
Wow.
I can see that. Okay. The last bit is rapid fire, but it's typing. Is everyone okay with typing in the chat box?
Okay.
No.
Abhishek is flexing and stretching. Okay.
I'm gonna lose my
if
lead.
I know the answers, I know I can type faster than most people.
Very good.
Computing background.
There you go. Okay, everyone get their chat boxes open and ready. The first person with.
Do we text it to you or to everybody?
No, to everyone. You can text it. I don't think
so the
anyone's
first person, what is the score rule, Seetha?
Yeah, the first person for us to see with all the right answers. So I'm going to ask the 3 of each thing, and if they get all 3, they get them.
So you just in the end tell me who, and then I'll add them up. That's better because I might just keep putting marks for everybody.
Okay. All right. Name 3 things that you do up. 3 things that you do up.
I'm gonna lose this.
No, that you do up. So do up as the phrasal verb. So you
can... phrase. Oh, okay. I thought up. Okay.
Mine is like 2 of them are kind of similar, but okay.
But everyone can type because it is the first person with all the right answers. So I have to check all of them.
Can I type again?
No.
Oh, that's.
Then you can have multiple chances. Okay, we'll give it another 10 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Nikita was very close, but I don't know if you can do up eyeliner. Ambika, what do you think?
I'm
not convinced about eyeliner.
I'm not convinced either. I was like panicking, so I just sent something.
So then Kavya gets the answer because she got all 3. But I think good attempts from everybody else.
Yeah, room, hair, and bed, absolutely.
Okay, next one. 3 things that teachers usually run out of.
Come again?
3 things that teachers usually run out of.
Run out of. Okay.
Run out of.
Money.
I feel like everyone deserves points for this one, but Nikita gets them. She got the first. And yes, Vinodini also. Pens, Aparna, that's mine as well. Pens. I had to go hunting for a pen for this, and I ended up with a pencil.
Literally screaming out the answers.
Yes. Making sure she's heard. Okay.
Yeah.
3 things that teachers usually make up.
Rules.
Fair enough.
Mine's like a combination of everybody's, so I'm just not gonna type an answer.
No, I think Abhishek gets this one. All 3
gets this one, yeah.
But again, all really nice answers. Okay. 3 things that teachers try to get out of. Oh, Jay, she's typed as well. Okay. Right. I think, Ambika, tell me if you agree with me. I think this one goes to Kavya. Abhishek, only because I don't know if you can get out of personal
problem. That is the only thing that hit.
No, as in when students come to you about their personal problems or something, you're like, okay, just listen to it and let it go from one ear to the other. That's it.
I know,
yeah,
right?
Okay. My co-judge also agrees with me, so I'm sorry. I'm going to hand these points to Kavya.
Yes, absolutely.
But yes, some other nice points as well. Okay. No one writing reports. That's something I've always tried to get right. I never succeeded, but I try anyway.
I think it would come under admin work, no? Because Aparna has written admin work.
Admin work, yes.
Okay. And the last one. 3 things or 3 funny things that teachers come across in a classroom. Okay. All right. Again, I'm going to give these points to Nikita because I said 3 funny things and I'm not counting people as things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, good answers.
So, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, names, I think I would agree with everyone. Names is just like so. It's the most hilarious. You can't even repeat certain names. You have to call them and you have no idea how to call them.
Yes, and it seems to be increasing as time goes on. The kind of the variety of names that are.
Yeah. And I always ask them, what should I call you?
Correct.
That way I'm safer because sometimes
But some of them married, they just say their full name again.
Yeah.
I had an Eril Arasan and an Irudaya Raj and a somebody else. And they were just names that, I mean, I can say them, but when you have to call them out in class every time, I said, okay, do you have a shorter version? Can I call you something else? Yes, ma'am, Eril Arasan. Done.
I have one similar, Seetha, Madurai Veeran.
The whole, but you must call him the whole thing, yes.
So I'm like, so Madurai or Veeran? He's like, no, Madurai Veeran. Okay then.
Exactly. All right, very well done. Thank you. Ambika, you can tell us the
Awesome.
points and
Yes.
Surya wins.
No, I think it's Nikita.
So
Nah,
Nikita is
Surya wins.
actually the winner.
Oh,
wow.
Good job, Nikita.
It was a
second
win for
job.
thinking anyway.
Yes, so the second, yes, it was
Nice.
obviously Surya. They just like had 20 marks. So if all questions were 10 marks. So they just had a 20 mark difference, Surya. And I think it's the last typing thing that Nikita got the 20 marks. Yeah, so after the tie, she just like took off. So Nikita, and the third is Kavya.
Nice.
So I'm not going to go with the others. So the first three are Nikita, Surya, and Kavya. Good job, guys.
Yes.
Hey, good contributions from everybody.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very
Thank
nice.
you
Fun
so
day.
much, Seetha.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much for So I think it was a fun thing to just do this. I think we should probably do it like in our alternate sessions, no? This kind of quick quizzes, because it kind of gets us also thinking. So each of us can probably take turns to be the quiz master, so that you know, Seetha and I can also start participating.
Get a chance to participate.
No?
Yes.
Exactly.
And to become quiz masters, we have to do a lot of research.
The quick ones. So what
good.
you know, you like we
really
may not
good.
know. So it's quick.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You could conduct like thinking quizzes or something, because there is also product placement when you're trying to say it out, you know, thinking. You have to be thinking quick.
Oh, think. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Abhishek.
Like this.
Yeah, thank you all so much. I hope
This is
you
a
had
nice
fun
break
this
for me.
session.
Very nice break.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So we are going to wrap up the TTT this month with just the discussion and quiz. And we're hoping to meet you all next month as well. So next month we have something else planned, which is more the topic and the resource review base, which we do on our normal TTT.
Correct.
We do